Ryan Jarrell here for Fight Bananas, and I'm very excited to have my next guest on the program, making his UFC debut February the 22nd against Nursultan Ruziboyev. And of course, it is Eric McConico on the show. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just got in with the workout.
Well, we're excited to see you actually make your debut, man. You've been killing it on the regional scene for a while now. You got a killer team behind you. First off, just tell me, how you got the news, what your initial reaction was, and who the first person you called and told.
So, how I got the news, I just got done working out because I was getting ready for a fight on this last previous Friday on Valentine's Day. I was getting ready for a 5 round title fight against Buddy Wallace, and so I got back to the hotel and I'm like, all right, I'm about to start chilling. I'm pretty low in weight. I'm like 193. I'm like, all right. And I was sitting there and I got a call from Jason House. And I was like, oh, he probably just calling me to be like, hey, man, you fighting this weekend? I'll be there. I'm going to come support you, stuff like that. And I'm like, all right. So I pick up the phone. He's like, hey, where's your weight at? And I'm like, kind of freaked me out for a minute. Like, hold on, am I tripping? Oh, I'm good. I'm 195. He's like, all right, I think I might got you a UFC fight. And I was like, oh shit. Oh yes, good. Oh yeah, definitely I can make weight. Yeah. I'm thinking it was gonna actually be on the Cannonier card with Jose Delgado. So I was really stoked. I was like, debut on Jared headline Jared Cannonier, that's my teammate, that's my boy. Like, oh, I was just excited, and he told me it was for next week or whatever, and I've been happy ever since, man. Been
Now,
happy
is
ever
this
since.
is this a
And
3 or 4 fight deal?
whatever the first contract is, I think it's a 4 fight. The first contract they give you, the test of the interview. It's the interview contract. And
Okay.
the first person I told was my wife. She's been with me through all these ups and downs. She's my shadow, so she has seen everything, the ups and downs of this journey that we're doing. So that was the first person I told. And yeah, man, just excited.
Been on cloud nine ever since, I'd have to imagine. And with how good you've been doing on the regional scene too, Eric, like I mentioned when I introed you, I had to imagine maybe you thought this was coming close, right? Like, did you feel if you were going to get that win at Tough Enough that maybe UFC would have been next anyways?
Yeah, but I don't know. My mindset was always just kind of like, I'm just gonna show up, like I'm just gonna work, I'm just gonna fight, and I'm gonna try my best to win these fights, and whatever happens, happens. And my dream was the UFC, and my dream was, I want to get there, but they know what they're doing, man. They deal with a lot of, they see a lot, and when they feel like I was ready, then that's when I got the call, but my mindset was always just, let me win this fight, keep showing up, and just keep showing up, man.
How does Ruzi Boyev's style differ from your opponent Wallace that you're supposed to fight?
Um, well, for one, the experience. I think they have similar the experience, a lot of fights. I think the height difference, he's 6'5". Buddy Wallace was I think 5'11". Um and was it Rude Boy, right? Rosie Boy?
Yeah, Ruziboyev. I think I'm saying
Ruza
it right.
Boya. My bad. I'm sorry. Did not get good grammar skills, but he has a very sharp right hand, like he has a piston of a right hand. The experience, I mean, he's in the UFC. So it was a lot of, it's definitely different. It's 100% different. Buddy was more, I would say more pressure and more head movement, more moving, more coming at you. So I don't know what he's gonna bring to me, but from what I saw, those are the big differences. Is definitely the height. 6'5" and 5'11" is definitely different.
As you mentioned too, the experience that Nursultan has, 34, 9-2 is his pro MMA record, but he's only 2-1 in the UFC. Do you feel like that that matters, right? Like you can get a lot of experience fighting other promotions, but when you make it to the UFC, the level of talent is different. I think that's fair to say. Do you feel like you're
Yeah.
catching him at a time where, although he has more fights than you, maybe he's not that much more experienced at the highest of levels versus where you've been?
Um, I didn't really even think that far, you know. I just kind of think to myself, I treat every fight the same. So like every fight to me is a big fight. Every person is gonna I think everything possibility, you know, I put them as the boss level. You know, they're the boss, they're the Bowser, they're that level. That's where I put them at. So, you know, I don't think that'd be too much of a difference. I mean, he's been in there, he's experienced, he's fought guys, he's you know, whether his record was whatever before the UFC and got into the UFC, I mean, that definitely tells you something, you know.
No, for sure. He's a well-rounded fighter. Definitely a dangerous guy. No doubt about that. He in his last fight, he did fight Joaquin Buckley at welterweight, and now he's coming back up to 185. Do you think you're gonna have a big size difference as far as your physicality goes?
Yeah, I think my physicality, yeah, will have a size difference. And he'll have the height difference. So I think we're pretty even.
Fair enough. 20 submission victories, 12 TKO or KO victories. Is he more dangerous on the feet or on the ground?
I think the man's pretty dangerous. He could be dangerous anywhere. You know, he's dangerous on his feet. He's I think he's dangerous on the ground. His record speaks for itself. I can't really let no opportunity go past me when I have an opportunity. So
All right. We're going to circle back to this and talk a little bit more about him before we get out of here. But I want to talk. I saw you at the UFC Apex this past weekend, obviously, in the corner of your boy, Jared Cannonier. Also, Jose Delgado, a huge win over a really tough up and coming prospect, a guy from my neck of the woods. First of all, tell me with Cannonier, I thought he was going to win. I actually picked him to win for what it's worth. But when I looked at the size difference between him and Robocop, I mean, Robocop looked like a dinosaur in there. He was just huge. Is that something that you thought like, my God, I couldn't believe how big RoboCop actually was?
yeah, RoboCop looked like a football player, you know? Like he was pretty big, dude. But bigger they are, the harder they fall, right?
Tough first round for Jared, but obviously he's known for his durability. Did when did you know that the fight was really kind of changing in his favor?
I would say the second round. After that, in between that second round, you start to kind of see RoboCop fading, and then obviously we all seen the end of third round. And you know, like he said, we thought the fight was over too. I think everybody kind of thought the fight was over, but when he went into that fourth round, you can tell he was like, you know, he didn't recover. But RoboCop's a tough guy, man. That guy's tough, dude. Like he is a warrior, man. Like that dude don't break, man. You know, you know he got that split across his
Yeah.
shit, and he kept going. So I mean, for Jared to do that to him, I mean that just speaks a lot of volume about Jared Cannonier, man.
Would you be surprised if Jared gets one more title shot before he hangs it up?
No, I won't be surprised, and I hope he does.
Do you,
Like I kept saying all week, you know, George Foreman got a title at 45, and he came out of retirement. Jared hasn't even came out of retirement; he's still been working. So I think his chances of getting that title is the same. Yeah, that'd be nice.
when you see a guy that's 40 years old still doing it like Cannonier is, man, like what does that do for, your confidence about your longevity as a fighter?
It's inspirational, man, and to see it popcorn seat, you know, at the gym, seeing him doing his workouts, seeing him doing everything, seeing the way he's doing everything. It's like a blueprint on what I need to do, and I'm starting now. You know, to be able to, if I'm able to be able to fight at that age and that long, you know. But yeah, man, it's a blessing in disguise. It's it's great.
I love it. Very well said. Tell me a little bit about Jose Delgado. How good is this kid?
Good. Good. Crazy good, dude. Pressure's crazy. He goes in there like so he's so technical, you know, technical and he's thinking, you know, he thinks and he's just pressure just crazy. He's been on a terror for his last past what, four or five fights? Just a terror, bro. Just going in there like a demigod. Just what's up? You know what I mean? I think he's good. And there is a backstory. I know he mentioned it on his interview about when I first got there and he put the pressure on me, dude, and you know, I was like 240 and this, you know, he's a featherweight and he comes in, I'm all like, all right. And dude, I'm talking about I was gassed, like, boom, like, oh man, bro, oh dude. And he was, didn't really break a sweat that much, and that dude's talented, man. I'm not surprised his went the way it went, and I'm not going to be surprised when he gets what he wants and he's where he wants to be, because that man definitely puts the work in. I see him after practice, him before practice, and he's doing something. You know what I mean? And so I can only imagine what he's doing when no one's looking. You
Can't
know?
wait to see what's next for him. He seriously is a huge, huge young talent. I wanted to ask you a little bit too about the hate that I guess Mario Bautista got after the Jose Aldo fight. I love Mario. I've been interviewing him for a while now. He's a great, great guy. He deserves to be right where he's at. He won the fight. I mean, I know Aldo's a legend, and he's got a lot of fans, right? But like,
Yeah.
what's your thought when you see or heard all of that stuff? Like, did you think it was very unwarranted, and how did Mario take it?
I think Mario. I think everybody's seen how Mario took it. He whatever. A win's a win, man. It don't really matter. It's his job to get off the cage. This is MMA. That's why there's a cage. That's why we work all these things that we work during practice. And he should know how to get off the cage. So if he couldn't get off the cage, that lets you know the pressure that Mario's putting on him. But that's only people who fight, and people who know the sport knows of the sport. Fans are gonna they want to see blood. Fans want to be like, they want to do the thumbs up or thumbs down. That's them. And but a win's a win in my book.
Does Mario have more of a chip on his shoulder now after all of that?
I don't know. This is what I'll say. Mario's still doing what Mario's been doing. So
Okay.
still shows up. See him in the gym all the time, twice, 3 times, all the time.
Again, another guy. Can't wait to see him back in the cage. Tell me a little bit about John Crouch as a coach and just your evolution at the lab.
I mean, I think that speaks for itself from like how I before I got to the lab, and then what I have accomplished and where I'm at now, like that speaks a lot of volume. That's not just from because of me, that's from my team, that's from my coach. The coach is the captain, and the way the structure is, the way he is, the way the attention, these are things that fighters are looking for when they're looking for gyms and this, and to be able to ask a question to my coach and he knows the answer, or to ask a question and he's not like, oh, you should know that. It's like, no, he's like, he loves this, you know what I mean? And he's just an amazing coach, dude. Amazing coach, man.
When you're in the middle of camp, Eric, who are like the main guys that you typically mix it up with the most?
During like sparring and stuff, partner.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, Jared Cannonier, Alec Lorenz, Bruce Xavier. Dwight Grant, he's at the lab too. Trey Sean Gore, he does this camp once in a while out here, but now he's out here officially. So with him, there's a lot of guys. Brady, um, Kai, some of the Jack England is a featherweight. Whole bunch of people, man. Everybody. That's why I think that's what makes the lab great. Also, like there's big guys, small guys. You get different speed, different looks, different techniques, different this, different everything. But yeah,
And how long have you been in Arizona now?
I think I've been in Arizona for I think going on my daughter's two. I think going on 4 years.
4 years.
Going on
Okay.
year and a half. Going on four.
So are you a Phoenix Suns fan now? Do you like basketball or any other sports?
I mean, I don't really watch sport. Yeah, I like other sports. I don't watch sports as much because I'm like really grounded into our sport right now. But my team is the Lakers. I'm from California. Grew up in San Bernardino. And then my football team is the Niners.
Okay. Very good. Couple of all-time teams right there. So two of the most popular teams, obviously being from the California area. I have to like the Lakers and the Niners, man. You're a family man, wife, kids, and all that. What is that balance like as far as training goes? Like, how difficult is that to kind of get your family time in and get the right training in too?
It's difficult, and I think I can speak this for every father and have all these many kids. I got 5 children, and I just don't. I eliminated the social life. I don't have a social life, my social life is my kids. Communicate with my kids, communicate with my wife, and that's pretty much what I do. I go to the gym, go to work, come home. It's hard, it's difficult. I'm absent. I'm more absent than I would like to be. But hopefully this weekend and for the future, it pays off.
No doubt, my man. You mentioned that you got up to 240 earlier in the interview when you were
Oh yeah.
sparring Delgado. How heavy do you typically get? Is that normal for you to get up to
No,
240?
I actually came back from fighting. So I took 2 years off from competition. So I was coming back onto the team. I was getting onto the team and I was just overweight. But usually I'm around like 215, 220, now usually.
So when you look at your new weight class here in your new home of the UFC, how do you feel like you fit big picture as far as size wise goes? Are you like an average size middleweight, or can you see yourself fighting at 205 in the future?
Um I can probably see myself fighting welterweight before fighting 205, to be honest with you. I fought at welterweight a couple times, and I don't know, but I think middleweight is where I should be at. I'm gonna stay at. I don't think I'm really go anywhere.
Okay. Understood. Those weight cuts, man. I hear some guys that are cutting like 30 pounds in a few weeks. I don't know how you guys do it. Tell me, do you think Drickus is going to be a longtime champion at 185?
I mean, he's capable of. I mean, he's doing real good. I mean, he's been finishing people. So I mean, can't really speak too much bad about. You know what I mean? He's finishing people. He's finishing former champions and doing it nice. So
If you had to pick, if he was matched up with Hamzat next, who do you think wins that?
out of him and Hamza, um, man, that'd be a good fight. I don't know. I'll probably say DDP, man. He's like a what can I think? Like almost like the Hulk, dude. Just smash. And a lot of people say they don't like his style, but I mean he knows what he's doing.
Mhm.
He just don't care a little bit less. He don't care about getting hit. He's a brute. I've never seen him in person, so I don't know how big he is. But it'll be an interesting fight because it would definitely bring out a grappling. And Hamza, I mean, that dude can go that long. So it'll be an interesting fight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I still can't believe what he did to Whitaker. That surprised the heck out of me.
Yeah, me too.
Let's transition back. How excited are you to fight in Seattle versus fighting in the Apex?
I am excited, and originally that's where I came from. I moved from Cali to Oregon when I was 17. So I have a lot of my beginning of my amateur and my pro career out in the Pacific Northwest. So I got some family out there. I got some friends out there. I got some people who know me a little bit already. See me on the fight circuit out there. So I'm really excited to fight out there, man. And it's crazy because I remember when first became pro, and I was sitting there talking to myself like, man, it'd be crazy if they had a UFC in Oregon or something, like. And I played on that card, and then 5 6 years later, I'm debuting in Seattle. So this sport really made me believe more into manifestation. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you said that right. I hear Conor McGregor talking a lot about manifesting your future and really making attract like the law of attraction, right?
Yes, law of attraction.
Okay. Again, to circle back to Nursultan, man, I was watching a video, like a prediction video leading up to this interview here, and the guy was basically saying that he thinks that you're going to try and maybe get the fight to the ground, and he's going to want to keep it on the feet. Is that accurate? Would you prefer to get this fight to the ground, or would you like to stand and trade with him?
I think I just got to show the world that I got to be a martial artist. So I think whatever happens happens, but I'm definitely going to try to mix everything up the best ability I can.
Do you have an official prediction for me?
Um, I don't have a prediction, but I do have a prediction of I need that bonus.
Need that
So
50 G's.
I need that 50 G's. So whatever I got to do to get that.
I love it, man. Last thing for me, walkout song. Have you decided? Can you give me a little insight as to what that might be?
Uh, I'm still deciding. Right now, I got Shabazi, bartender. the bar. I think it's called the Baller song. Tipsy
Okay, yeah.
country dude. You know, we out there in the Pacific Northwest, a little country. You know, so might come out to that. I might come out to some Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, couple of good choices, my man. Eric, best of skill come fight night. Looking forward to watching you. Before we do sign off, if you have any sponsors you want to thank or just anyone you want to plug, the floor is yours, my man.
Um, I don't have any sponsors yet, man. But hopefully, if you are seeing this interview and you want to sponsor me, DM me at Eric dash McConico MMA, and we can talk, and I can help market your company. And I would do a shout out to Mental Joe because I won the little signing thing with them. He gave me a free shirt, so that's it.